Yo, what's going on, boys? How you doing, Ginger? How you doing, Arton? Everyone that's been on the post market last few days knew exactly what I was saying. I was being cautious into the Fed, but I did have my probability saying that everything was getting priced in. He was gonna price in a taper. The only reason I didn't go super heavy into the Fed is because we were expecting if he said something about rate heights, we would have been crushed. What's up, Yash? Welcome. Let's get into it. I know a lot of you guys had a killer last half of the day. That's what patience does, guys. We were waiting. When it was time to go, we struck. Now, one thing I do want to say is I took off a lot of stuff at the end of the day. We sold Microsoft for around 30%. We sold Amazon for over 60%. We sold D-Dog for 25%. Sold some Walmart. I actually did part ways with Walmart today. It's the first time Walmart was not in my account for the last or I think last 2 weeks. What's up, Andrew? What's up, Nils? And one reason I did take off everything, while today was very, very bullish, if you guys noticed around Fed Day, it's not about the first reaction. The first reaction to the Fed was straight down, if you remember. So we got the Fed, I think right here was the announcement, and we just went straight down in a line. I told you guys first reaction is usually the wrong reaction. Right away we reversed, and when we got through the 465, we walked you guys through this in the chat. I kept saying over and over again, if ES gets over 4650, we're going to rip. Shorts are going to get squeezed. And look how much it struggled with that 4650. At the end, the sellers could not hold it below it. We ripped through it. Shorts had to start covering, and look at that run into the end of the day. Absolutely beautiful. What's up, Rav? So the reason I was saying what I was saying yesterday on post market is everyone knew that he had to stop tapering. Everyone knows about Omicron. Well, Omicron was surprise factor. So everyone knew that he would have to taper less. He has to buy less stuff, right? So that's bad for the market overall. But what were we doing for the last 2 weeks? Why was there all this mess? I know looking at SPY, it doesn't look like that much mess. But if you look at individual stocks, like look at Amazon for the last 2 weeks, that's ugly. Like just straight down, bear bounce, bear flag, then another leg down, right? Same thing on so many stocks. SE, straight down in a line. Like it's so far down in the line, my chart doesn't even fit it. So what were they doing? In my opinion, they were pricing in this whole taper during this whole thing. D-Dog got nothing but good news this whole time. Killed earnings, great company, growing crazy, adding to the NASDAQ, and they're just getting crushed, right? Nothing's moving straight. Omicron came up, all those fears. But looks like they priced it in, just like I said yesterday. They priced in the taper. As long as there was no rate hike, we should have ripped. I told you guys over and over, make a list of stuff you want to buy if he's bullish on Wednesday. And I hope you guys listen because I crushed a lot of stuff today. I'm not even going to lie to you. SPY. So SPY right now, we are still at this top. There's 1, 2, 3. This is the fourth time we're testing this 471. Tomorrow, after such a big day today, I don't know if we get through 471 tomorrow. What's up, Ricky? How you doing? 471 is the level to watch on SPY right now. 471. If we get through there, we should go in a line to 480, guys. Just because we've been consolidating so long underneath here, it's almost a head and shoulders. If you guys put it like zoom out a little bit to the 4 hour here, you'll probably see a head and shoulders. Let me get rid of those aftermarket. So we have this 471 test. Right here, you have a 471 test here, and the cup and handle and the inverse right here. So you guys can look at my Twitter, you can look anywhere you want. There was way too many people expecting the market top here for it to actually be the market top. When the market dumps, there will be maybe 5% of the total traders in puts. That's just how they do it. When you're expecting a market crash, it never crashes. Never. And even last year during March, if you guys remember, this is why I learned. This is the experience that I have. Okay, I'm going to show you guys something right here. During COVID, last year, COVID was a thing during February, like right around here. So what did I do? Right here on this dip, I sold almost all my positions. I went short in February 20th. Like I went heavily short because of COVID. I thought the market was done. I thought market was toast. We started ripping for like a month after that, or like 2 weeks. So I waited 1 week, my shorts were big red. I waited another few days, my shorts were too red, I had to sell. I sold my shorts. I started going long again because the market's ripping, I'm missing out on everything. And then they flushed it. So just remember that every time you expect a market crash, it's gonna come later or it's not gonna come at all. That's just one thing I wanted to point out to you guys. But right now, this is a super bullish formation, inverse head and shoulders. Play the trend. Economy can be shit. Inflation can be 50%, 60%. It doesn't matter. Play the trend in the stock market. It does not follow the economy at all. It will later. I'm saying this market's gonna be, it's a huge bubble. We're gonna blow up eventually. But when is that gonna happen? No one can time it. And I've learned from my experience by myself, you cannot time the market top. So just keep playing the trend. Right now, we have a beautiful inverse head and shoulders through 471, should get us going straight to 480 on SPY. QQQ, and you know what's going to kickstart this? Why I'm saying 10 points higher instead of 475, 476? For the last couple of months, or even like 5-6 months, growth stocks have been getting annihilated. Why are they getting annihilated? They don't do well. Growth does not do well when they hike rates. I can't even talk after today. But after they hike rates, growth stocks usually get killed. So they were pricing in a bunch of stuff. And right now, there is so many fantastic companies on sale. I can't even tell you guys, like SE, D-Dog, Dawkin, Melly, just to name a few off the top of my head. Let's go to QQQ. Look at this. I had my 5-minute chart very small, so I had to move my screen up 1, 2, 3 times to catch this parabolic run. But look at this QQQ. Fired right back, guys. Everyone was scared. We kept telling you, be patient, be patient. There's going to be opportunity. Right now, QQQ is still at that resistance point. So until we're through 398, I'll even say 399 is the number. On QQQ, 399 gets us really parabolic in this market. So I'm waiting for 399 on QQQ. XLF even picked up today. So we had this big bear breakdown, bear flag breakdown, whatever. Let's wait till we get back into this range that we have drawn out from November until we start playing banks to the long side. For swings, scalps can work. IWM looks like absolute trash, but we did hold on to that line. You see, we dumped below this line that we have support from January, and still we closed above it. So IWM has a chance to bounce as well here and increase volume. So everything looks good on IWM. If the Santa Claus rally is real, probably this Friday. If it goes down, I'm probably going to buy calls on IWM for January. ES smashed through all the resistances. SPY is the same thing. VIX under 20, beautiful breakdown here. It's still kind of in this range, so I wouldn't get too bullish, just because remember what happens, it just compresses and then pops, compresses, pops, compresses every single time. And right now it just looks like we're compressing. So until we take out the low of 1869 here on VIX, 1869, if we get under there, the Santa Claus rally is in full effect, in my opinion. So under 1869, until we get under there, it's still kind of iffy. That's why I sold a bunch of stuff today as well. Bitcoin rallied with the Fed somehow. Bitcoin was actually leading the market. I pointed that out. I was watching a 5-minute chart on Bitcoin, 5-minute chart on SPY. Bitcoin dipped before SPY and then it ripped before SPY as well. So that's an interesting correlation I'm going to keep an eye on. Right now on the daily, it looks like trash to me. It's just barely hanging on to the 200-day. By a thread here, and if we bear flag and break down, this one's going right to 40k. And that's about it on Bitcoin. Master Microsoft. Okay, Microsoft. So I put this on the newsletter for a reason. We had this big breakout wedge for like 2 months, then a big breakout, same falling wedge, same breakout. We got the retest almost to the dot on the wedge, and now we broke yesterday's high. Yesterday's high was 334.64. We got to 335.19. I sold my Microsoft calls. I was very, very heavy. Will SPY still need XLF to step up to break 461, 471? The thing is, Qs are so strong right now. If QQQ takes out the 399 level that I drew out here, I think SPY can follow it. But if XLF just goes sideways and QQQ goes up, then SPY should take out this 470, 471 area. And if XLF dumps, if there's any weakness in either of them, then SPY probably will not take out 471. If one is really strong and one is sideways, then it can take it out. But if they're both strong, then it's absolutely going to rip. And I don't see a reason for banks to be down right now. There's no reason. They were probably expecting a rate hike. That's why yesterday was green, even though the rest of the market was dumping. But other than that, banks don't really interest me right now. This is time for tech and growth. Microsoft, like I was saying, we got the retest of the wedge. We were breaking up. The real entry on Microsoft is over 344.60. Obviously, it was a big move to get there. There's another 6 points. But if you catch it above there, if it gets over 344.62 and it holds above here, then Microsoft should be off for the next leg. Walmart here. Finally, don't have any Walmart in my account after about 2 weeks. Caught this support perfectly at 135. Obviously, this is a more than normal run for Walmart. 6 days in a row. 5 days in a row, Walmart ran up. Now I'm expecting a little base or consolidation here. Obviously, we can go straight up on my... Here, let me show you. So these are the three situations on Walmart. We can run straight up in a line to 152. We can go sideways here for 2-3 days and then run to 152. Or we can go sideways here for 1-2 days and then we can reject and go back down to 135. Oh, ignore that. But yeah, I don't think we'll go straight down. I think we'll go sideways for either 1, 2, or 3 days and then either up to 152 or break down. And my guess would be we're going up to 152. The only reason I exited my calls is I'll wait for it to consolidate a little bit on top of the 50-day. As long as it holds a 50-day, I'll jump in those 150 calls again for February. But I'm still very bullish in Walmart. It's still a perfect setup. PFE, I am short PFE. Why am I short PFE? So I do use a bunch of tools. I don't use them religiously. But I have this Bollinger Band thing as well. So if you look at a historical chart since December of last year, right? Every time it gets too far away from the 8-day moving average or it starts to go to the top of the Bollinger Bands here, it starts to pull back. I'm not saying it will. I'm just saying probability is that it'll pull back. That's why I'm in puts. You see this very clear trend line. We did break above that trend line. So obviously bullish, but... look at the other factors here. We also have the Bollinger Bands. We have the distance away from the 8-day moving average. Right now, PFE is trading at 58.80. The 8-day moving average is $4 down. Right here, when we pulled back, PFE was trading at $50 and the 8-day was at 47. So $3 down. $3 away from the 8-day here. We got a pullback. $4 away now. And right here, we were trading at 41 and we were $3 away. So $3 away from the 8-day, $3 away from the 8-day, $4 away from the 8-day. So I'll take my chances in these PFE puts. We have time on them. I don't think it'll just keep going straight up in a line. I could be wrong, guys. I am wrong on occasion. But right now, just the way it's acting, the way it's extended, everything just looks a little bit overdone to me. I'm very comfortable sitting in the puts. If you guys are scared, if you don't feel comfortable sitting in puts, being bearish is completely different than being bullish. That's one thing you have to understand. And just look at the weekly chart here. We've been up for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, almost 12 weeks in a row. So you guys see, like, the odds are in my favor for puts. I'd rather take puts than calls here, and I will be very comfortable, especially after the gains I made today. I'm very comfortable with that position going down a little bit. So I'm waiting for tomorrow. If we get a gap up on PFE, I will actually add to those puts. I think that'll be an exhaustion gap. If we don't get a gap down, I might just start taking profits on them. Amazon, absolute ripper. From the lows, 3,300 was a low, and we ripped up to 3,472. That's a 172 point move. Just wait for it, guys. Ricky says it all the time. Amazon has these kinds of days up and down. Wait for the proper setup. I seen it going today. I called out the 3,500s so fast. I jumped in right away. I got out of them quick because I went very, very heavy in Microsoft. Because I took lottos on Amazon. Obviously, it's not going to be the same position size as my Microsoft, which was 2 weeks out. So I got out of my Amazon for 60-70%. I was very happy with the gains. I did take an L earlier today where it bounced off yesterday's low. So it went to yesterday's low right here. I got my little bounce. I didn't take profits. I was waiting for a bigger move. Came down, closed below yesterday's low, and I had to stop out. End of the day, I caught that move for 60%. It more than covered my loss. I was very happy with Amazon for the day. I will play Amazon again, and we'll crush it that time too. So I'm not really worried about that. SE is one I want you to watch here, because SE is a very solid company. I've done my DD. I don't own equity in companies that I don't know properly. This company is a monster. This whole downtrend right here was all the market. So basically, one thing I'm going to teach you very, very quickly. when you want to buy equity in a company, buy equity in a solid company when it's down because of the market. Don't buy a stock just because it's down. Buy a solid company that's down just because the market's down. And that's what I believe on SE, and that's what I believe on Melly. I did take some equity on Melly down around 1062. I called it out. I'm looking to add some actually. Melly looks absolutely great. So again, they put in the low, they put in a higher low. Now they got to put in a higher high to try to change this daily trend in the favor of the bulls. Same thing on SE now. So we undercut yesterday's low. I've taught you guys this before too. So usually when a low is in a stock, all right, like yesterday's low was down here 218.99. What they did was they went down, they took out everyone's stop loss down here. Anyone that's bullish on SE, they took out their stop loss by breaking yesterday's low, and then they absolutely ripped it. And SE has a lot of room to go, and you guys know how good these options are. You guys catch a daily scalp on SE, you can catch 50-75% just in a couple point move. So I love this stock. I will continue to play this, and I am looking for a longer term play in this, but we need to get through Friday's OPEX. Remember, it's still OPEX this week. That's why I'm quick with profits. Melly, I already went over. I think if we get through 1221 on Melly, we're going to 1260 and then 1300. Keep an eye on that one. Tesla, Elon is still selling. I'm not interested on it. Didn't fill the gap properly. Not an A+ setup in my mind. But I do have this little line drawn here that did alert me today. It was the most annoying alert ever. But if you guys look at this little hourly trend here, we finally broke out of it today. So if Tesla gets some legs here, it can get going. It's not an A+ setup for me, so I'm not going to take it. But we kind of had the same thing on Amazon here. Preston sent me this chart last night. I really liked it. Let's get rid of extended trading hours. So we had this little hourly downtrend here. We finally broke out, and look how we broke out. Like, wow. If Tesla went down to 910, I would be all over the stock. It would have filled the gap. It would have been an A+ setup, break through the hourly. What's up, Gravish? We got D-Dog here. So D-Dog, I jumped in calls. I'm already out for like 20%. I got 20% in like 10 minutes. I took it. I don't know what's going to happen overnight. I don't know what's going to happen on Friday. I will be looking to go long D-Dog on Friday again, depending on the action tomorrow. But right now we have this little inverse head and shoulders. We have the trend line around 183, 184 area. So D-Dog should move to 183, 184, especially with the addition to the NASDAQ. I told you guys my plan yesterday was to focus on the names that were added to the NASDAQ. I did sell all my position. Like I said, we did fill that gap that I was looking for all the way to 169. We actually went all the way to 171. So let's see the action tomorrow. I'm going to be looking for re-entries on D-Dog, ZS, Airbnb, PanW, and Lucid. Moderna here. We filled the gap on this one. I sold all my Moderna today, guys, 275 to 840. I could have held them. I had January's, but right now, I just had too many positions. I had to take some cash out. My account was at all-time highs. I got too happy myself personally. Whenever I get too happy, I start selling like everything. I don't even care. I stop looking at the charts and I just start selling. And very happy with the play. I mean, but this is not the kind of bounce you want to see when Moderna has actual strength. This is not the type of volume, and this is not the type of move that you see. You see this type of move right here. All right. So very happy with my gains. We did fill all the gaps almost. We were within. There's a gap up here to 293 to fill. We went up to 290. So that's good enough for me. I'm out of that. I will go into that 1 second. One, I want you to keep an eye on. I did jump in calls today. I did not call them because it's a little bit riskier. This Uber, I seen a bunch of flow in this one. Obviously, it's still a clear downtrend. It's a growth company. It doesn't make money. Market's been killing these. I took $40 calls for Jan 7th. Why did I take them? Just because of the flow. Volumes in their CEO said they had the best week they've ever had last week. If we get above yesterday's high of 38.45, we should see a run to 39.50, $40. So that's what my reasoning behind that play. Just keep an eye on it. So the real play starts in Uber when it goes over 39.50. I front ran it. So just keep an eye on 39.50. Facebook looks absolutely great here. Facebook showed relative strength yesterday when the market was weak. So this is one you need to keep your eyes on. You got the whole metaverse stuff. You got everything going on for it. I'm going to get rid of this because obviously it did exactly there. I should have drew that line bigger so it would have went higher. Facebook, it's kind of choppy, but you could draw it like this. So it just looks like it keeps rejecting at around 342-ish. If it gets through this 342, it should make a move up to 355-ish. So Facebook, if you want to get in, I'd wait for the break. Well, I guess it closed above 340. No, it closed below. So if it gets over 342 tomorrow, this might be a playable scalp here on Facebook. 342 to 355. Crowdstrike here. This is another one I want to keep an eye on. Crowd and Net have been weird. They bottomed before the rest of the market. So yesterday we had a hammer candle on Crowd. This is a great company, guys. And it went from 298 all the way to 196. So 185. Wow, it lost almost $100 off its stock. It's been consolidating for almost a year now. Since last December, it's same prices. Crowdstrike is cybersecurity, obviously very bright future. Net is another one that actually bottomed yesterday, it looked like. Today absolutely ripped. Up 5%. Beauty. Let's do HD for these guys. HD, we were early on the puts. If we timed it right, I know Bookie and Yash held them today at 392. I know Ricky nailed 100% on them just today alone. Like if you look at this daily candle, how did he nail 100% puts, right? Look at the morning. Right here, just this move alone gave him 100%. So if on options, a lot of it is timing. Remember, we were in HD 400 puts. We took a loss on them. We had them up here. We grabbed them around 415. We had this big down day, and just the premium alone on those puts just completely killed my play. Made me take Home Depot off my screen, and I probably won't play it for a while now. LOW, they did a share buyback today. So I don't know. I seen news this morning, but Lowe's didn't have earnings. So what they said was they lowered guidance and they increased share buybacks. I don't know why they would do that without earnings, but anyways, we bounced off the 21-day moving average here. And sorry. Bounced off the 21-day moving average here, and now we're just looking for the previous high of 263.31. 263.31 breaks, and this one just can keep running and keep running. If we go back up and test 263.31 and reject it, then this would be a great put play as well. Go to UPST here. Okay, so this chart I'm going to go over. It's very important to listen to this one. So what happened? I called out UPST back here at 126. Remember how much conviction I had? I said 126 break, and we're going straight to $200. We broke 126. We left a gap here. Let me show you guys something here. This is important. So we left this gap here after earnings from 140 to 156, right? And it just never stopped. I sold my options at $200 and it went all the way to $400. I'm sitting here thinking, oh, why did I sell like a piker? Like, why did I sell so early? Why didn't I hold them? It doubled from my sell. It went to 400. Everyone's saying... There's a reason I tell you gaps are filled almost 90% of the time in the stock market. That's a made up number. It's probably like 80, 85%, but I say 90. No one would ever think that UPST, after being $400 in a straight line, it would come down and refill that gap all the way to 140. And look exactly what it did. 400 all the way down to 140, filled the gap, and now it's ready to go. So if UPST, this number right here, I'm actually going to set an alert. If we get back above this little this gap fill here, which is 156.77, so UPST over 157, it can bounce big. Like it can bounce big. I'm talking like 400 down to 140, and it hasn't bounced really. I think if we get over 157, the gap, we can go straight to 200 again. And that's where the recent bounce high was. That's where I'd be trimming. So 157 breaks all the way to 200 on UPST. That's what I'll be watching. I'll be watching it too. It's on my watch list. And thank you guys for attending. I hope you guys had as great a day as I did. And I will see you guys tomorrow.